Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to Sufa Intellectual School. How are you all? I hope you will be fine. I will start my lecture with the name of Almighty Allah through a dua. Kindly recite dua with me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi zidni ilma. It means, "Oh Allah, increase my knowledge." This is your science period and it's your lecture number 2. Today we will going to read unit number 1, living things, and in this we will going to start our chapter number 2, life cycle of a plant. So we have already done the reading of page number 12 and 13. We didn't complete the reading of page number 13. So today we will going to complete the reading of page number 13 and then we will going to start the reading of page number 14. I will explain the topics and then in the end I will give you the homework. The topics that I'm going to discuss today will be the overview of previous lecture, that what we have learned previously. I will give you an overview. Then I will going to tell you the remaining stages of a plant, that is young plant, adult plant, and the fruit. So previously we have learned that what is a life cycle. In previous lecture, I told you that life cycle shows how a plant grows, changes, and makes new plants. Then I also told you about the stages of a plant, that there are 5 main stages of a plant that are seed, seedling, young plant, adult plant, and the fruit. And previously I discussed these 2 stages with you, that seed is basically the first stage of a plant. Life of many plants start with the seed, and when the seed get the right conditions like the proper sunlight, water, and air, it starts to grow and it becomes a seedling. And once it becomes a seedling, it has main 2 parts, root and the shoot. So root is basically that part which is under the ground, and shoot is that part which is above the ground. And in shoot part we have leaves, stems, flowers, and fruits. So before discussing these 3 parts today, let's come to the book. We will first complete our reading. So I'm opening my book. All of you kindly open your books. This is your page number 13. We have already done the reading of seedling. Today we will going to do the reading of a young plant. I'm starting the reading. You have to listen to me carefully, okay? A new plant develops many leaves to make its own food. Leaves make food from getting sunlight, air, and water. Squirrels plant many trees each year. They bury seeds and forget where they buried them. Now come to the next stage, that is the plant, a young plant. After a young plant, an adult plant comes. After some time, flowers grow on the plant. The stamen makes pollen and pollination occurs. A flower starts to make seed. So this flower is basically starting to make the seeds. Once the seeds are formed, petals fall off. The pistil becomes big and changes into a fruit. So this is basically the last stage of a plant. The seeds are enclosed in the fruit. Here we have the seeds in these fruits. After that, when we get the seeds, back to the seed again. Seeds from fruits disperse. So here we have the fruit, here we have the seeds. So see, the seeds are really small in size. So they are again starting to disperse and return into the soil. And the life cycle starts again. So from here, again, the life cycle of a seed starts, and it again starts to grow and become an adult plant. So let's discuss it in detail. Okay, young plant. A new plant develops many leaves to make its own food. So when a young plant grows, it starts to develop its leaves. Once it has developed its leaves, it starts to make its own food. So, okay, so now how it starts to make its food? It basically requires three main things to make its food: sunlight, water, and air. And from air, it takes the carbon dioxide. When these three things mix up, a food is made on the leaves of the plant, and that food is then transferred into the all parts of the plant. So if you see in the image, this is the sunflower plants. It basically turning its direction towards the sunlight. It's going from east to the west. Then comes the adult plant. A flower grows on an adult plant. The stamen makes pollen and pollination occurs. Basically, when a flower grows on an adult plant, if you see on the image, these bees are basically transferring the pollens from one flower to the other flower, and due to that, the process of pollination will going to start. And due to this pollination, flowers start to make the seeds. Once seeds are formed, petals fall off, the pistils become big and changes into a fruit. After this whole process, the pistil becomes big and it will change into a fruit, and those seeds are enclosed in those fruits. So these seeds are basically dispersed again and scattered into the soil from those fruits through different procedures, and then the life cycle of a plant starts again. So basically, dispersing of seed is done by different methods, and we will discuss these methods in my next lecture. So one of the example is this, that is through squirrels. So as I've already told you that once the seeds are formed, petals fall off, the pistil becomes big and changes into a fruit. So now you will going to see this, all this in this a little small video. So see it very carefully how this plant has grown, and its flower has come out, and from the flower the fruit is coming out. See, this fruit is coming out from this flower, and it keeps growing, and when it becomes a full grown up fruit, if you don't take it out from a plant, it will start to you can say it will start to fallen off. It will change its color. You will see how this it's basically the plant of a strawberry. So how this strawberry is growing. See it carefully. Now a full grown strawberry has grown, and if you don't take it off, it will start to simply, you can say, so see, it starts to again rotting on the same plant. So this is basically the whole process of a plant, from a little small seed into a fruit, and that fruit again becomes a seed, converts into a seed. So I was telling you that squirrels plant many trees each year. They bury seeds and forget where they buried them. See, it's eating the plant, and after that, once it has eaten it, it will throw some of the seeds on the different. It will throw some of the seeds on the soil, and it will also bury some seeds. And once it buried, it will forget where it has buried. So because of that procedure, that seed starts to grow, and it will convert into an adult plant. So basically, these are the main 5 stages of a plant. So now I'm going to share a video with you. This will show you the life cycle of a plant. So you will then will have, inshallah, have a better understanding of a life cycle of a plant. I'm playing the video. Watch it very carefully.
A seed holds the beginning of a new plant. Roots grow from the seed, feeding on nutrients and water from the soil. As the roots dig down into the soil, the plant begins to emerge. Through photosynthesis, the plant uses sunlight to grow. As the plant grows, a flower begins to bloom. The flower's colorful petals and sweet smell attract butterflies. Butterflies play a crucial role in the reproduction cycle of many flowers. Butterflies like to perch on flowers as they search for nectar to drink. Pollen grains from the flower get all over its legs and body. When the butterfly flies away, it takes some pollen with it to a new flower. Some of the pollen falls off the butterfly onto the new flower. Pollen grains that land on top of the flower stigma can begin to germinate. A tube grows from the pollen grain down toward the flower's ovary. Cells from the pollen travel down the tube. Once fertilized, the ovules grow into new seeds. After the ovules are fertilized, the petals begin to wither and eventually fall off. Only the ovary remains healthy and attached to the stem. As the ovules grow into seeds, the ovary begins to expand and becomes the flower's fruit. The flower's fruit is a tough, dry capsule that eventually tears open to release the new seeds. Under the right conditions, these seeds will grow into new flowers. The life cycle starts over once again.
Okay, so did you enjoy the video? I hope now you have a better understanding of the life cycle of a plant, that how a plant grows from a seed and becomes an adult plant. And from that adult plant, when you get the flowers, when the flowers start to bloom, due to the pollination process, you get the seeds again in the fruit, enclosed in the fruit, and from that fruit, those seeds are scattered again into the soil, and the whole life cycle starts again. So this is basically the life cycle of a plant. Okay, before giving you the homework, I would like to give you the recap of our today's lecture, that what we have studied today. So today I have told you once again that what is the life cycle of a plant, and then I also told you the 5 main stages of a plant: seed, seedling, young plant, adult plant, and the fruit. And we have discussed the remaining 3 stages of the plant, that is young plant, adult plant, and the fruit. So I also told you that when the young plant starts to develop the leaves, after that, leaves starts to make its own food, because all the plants makes its own food through the process of photosynthesis, because they require 3 main things, or you can say ingredients, to make their food, that is sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide, they get it from the air. So once it has grown into an adult plant, due to the pollination process, flower starts to make the seeds again. So they start to make the seeds in their fruits portion. So once seeds are formed, pistil becomes big and changes into a fruit, and the seeds are enclosed in a fruit. From there, they get scattered through different ways. So about the different procedures, how the seeds are scattered, I will tell you in my next lecture. So I hope now you have a better understanding of all the 5 stages of a plant. So let's come to our today's work. Our today's work is that we will going to do the question answers on the notebooks with the proper format, that is your classwork. And you have to do the activity 1, page number 18 on your book. That is your homework. I will share the image and the file with you, the classwork and the homework work with you on your WhatsApp group. If you have any difficulty and if you want to ask me any question, you can ask me in your WhatsApp group. Okay, till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.